The Gallop organization has done extensive study of performance and productivity in organizations. And their analysis has demonstrated that people in large organizations tend to fall into one of three categories. And they label these categories engaged employees, non-engaged employees, and disengaged employees. The engaged employees are very committed and dedicated. They arrive early, they stay late, they almost take ownership of the company. And they're the real driving force and power of the company. And the more engaged employees you have, the more success and productivity you're going to realize. The non-engaged are those who do what their job calls for, but they don't want to go beyond it. If somebody says, can you stay late, they want to know how much more will I be paid, and they come at the appointed time, but they leave at the appointed time. And so they do the required things, but they don't want to go beyond. Disengaged are those employees who cause problems. They're often absent. In fact, the more often they're absent, the better the company is, because when they come to work, they're like the rotten apple in the barrel. They get everybody else upset. They cause problems. They get people fighting over things, and they're always talking about the administration and how they're treated, and so it's really a downer for everybody else. So it's not pleasant. Different countries have been studied on this, and in the USA, they have found 30% of employees across the board tend to be in large corporations engaged, 54% what they call non-engaged, and 16% disengaged. In Canada, it's 24% engaged, 60% non-engaged, and 16% disengaged. And this varies. I've studied Chile, Germany, Great Britain, Singapore, Japan, and France. In France, only 9% of the working force is engaged. 63% are non-engaged, and 28% are disengaged, which seems almost abysmal, but that's what the statistics show. The four-way system is designed to go into these organizations and move as many people as possible into the higher level category. So our goal is to get as many non-engaged people into the engaged category and to get as many people out of the disengaged category as possible. And the trainings that we conduct bring this about, because people all of a sudden understand who they are in a way they have not understood before. They understand their talents, what they can bring to the organization. The organization many times better understands how to appropriately place these people in a work environment where there's an ideal fit between their core personality and the job that they have to do. And when that happens, they get much more satisfaction and happiness and fulfillment. And when this is overlooked, then you have this sort of status quo situation where you have some people not performing at their high potential. And so it's about cultivating employees, not trying to control them. And so if we can control them, if we can cultivate them, then it's going to be much more successful. Now this program that we offer was utilized in a large hospital setting, Ministry Health, St. Michael's Hospital in Wisconsin. And it's a core group of hospitals. And their concern was that the clients, the patients, are not being served at the level that they really felt they needed to be served. Yet you had a lot of dedicated employees and dedicated workers, but they weren't quite sure how to accomplish moving forward and getting more people highly engaged in the work environment. And they contracted with us, and we rolled out numerous trainings for different employees, and they're so enthused about this, they actually wear their personality profile on their badge in the hospital, so everybody in the hospital knows what their personality is. And they're working much more diligently and with much more energy and much more enthusiasm to the betterment of the hospital, the patients, the recovery of the patients, and there's a great deal more happiness in the workforce, and the morale is much more positive. Now, the Gallop organization also did a complementary study on happiness, and an extensive study again. What they found was that people who are highly engaged in the work environment are extremely happy. People who are not engaged in the work environment are moderately happy. People who are disengaged in the work environment are very unhappy. They have not established cause and effect. Are people happy because they're engaged? Or are they engaged because they're happy? We don't know cause and effect. We just know a high correlation between the two. Based on what we know, the more people then we can get into the engaged category, the happier people will be, and the more happy the environment is going to be.